and welcome to Beads Jar. My name's Billy, and in today's tutorial I'll be showing you how you can create this beautiful Tree of Life connector charm bracelet. We'll be working with the S-Lon thread and the fabulous O beads. I've also incorporated a sliding knot design for the fastener, just to try something different for you. I hope you enjoy. So to really show off this fabulous sterling silver Tree of Life connector charm, I've created this beautiful macramé weave to the side of it and the beautiful O beads with that luster finish. I've done one side, but I'm going to show you how to create that on this side here for the connector. And we're working with the Beadsmith S-Lon twisted cord. And I'm going to be finishing this project with one of the sterling silver rubber lined beads, which is a new thing for me to work with, so I'm hoping to show you how that's going to work as well. I've got a pair of scissors. They don't need to be precision scissors, any scissors will do, and just to help us as well, we've got a large-eyed beading needle. Okay, I've pre-cut 3 1 meter lengths of the S-Lon cord to do the weave with. This may seem excessive, but it does use quite a lot when we're working with the knots, and it's better to have too much than too little. So I'm halving one of the 1 meter lengths, so I just want to make sure I've got that even. So I've halved that, and I'm just going to connect that to the connector. So I've got my loop end. I'm going to take that through the loop on the sterling silver Tree of Life charm, and my ends are going to come back through the same loop, and I'm going to pull that down like so. Take your second one and repeat the same process. So front of the charm to the back and through the loop. And the third one. So now you've got all 3 of the meter lengths connected, and I'm just going to turn that onto its side so you can see the next part clearer. Okay, so we're going to take the first, so we've got the centre, which is the 2 centre pieces, and I'm going to take those and separate them and connect. So I'm just going to move the right hand thread to the side, and I'm going to bring these 2 together to create my first knot in the macramé. So you just want to take them onto your finger. So you need to lift this up at this point. Take the 2 threads round. I'm just checking I have the correct ones in my hand, and we're going to go through the loop. I want that sitting as close to the threads as I can, so I'm just going to move that with my fingers, moving the knot up next to the connector. I'll lay that back so that we can then get the next threads. Okay, so then it's this middle one here, this middle one, and the next one across from that. To the left, I'm going to move that one out of the way, and I'm going to do the same again, so knot those 2 together. So that's the first knots in this section, and then we're going to start adding those fabulous O beads on. So now I'll move these apart. So we've got the 2 cords on the extreme sides that we're not using, and then I'm going to pick up 3 of my O beads with these 2 cords. So you're putting the 3 O beads onto both of those. So I've got the 2 cords. So we're going to go through the O beads and down to that knot that we created. We're going to then take the thread and tie a knot. So the far thread is going to come down and it's going to knot next to the O bead on this side. I'm just going to manipulate that round so I can create my knot. So go around the finger and through that loop. I'll bring that knot next to the O bead. So we'll do the same. So we created that knot and we're adding the 3 beads. And then we split those 2 and do our knot on this side, but on this one. So we've started building up our pattern. So we've got those 2 and we're going to bring the 2 middle threads now together. That's a bit high, so I'm just going to nudge that down a bit. So I'm now going to create another knot with the 2 strands in the middle. And I'm going to add 3 O beads onto the 2 strands on the extreme sides. So pick those 3 up with the 2 strands here. And we're bringing that back to the next strand across, and we're knotting those 2 there. And the same again. Middle strand comes out and connects these 2, and we're putting the knot in the same spot on that side. Now we're back where we started with the 2 knots, and then you're adding the 3, separate them off, and we're going to continue that, so I'll show you that. So we did this We moved out to the outsides and we've just created our 2 interior knots. So you do another section in the centre, 2 more extreme outer sides, and then 2 in the centre. So I'll join you back here and then we'll finish with our fastener. Okay, so we've now got the 2 sides completed in our macramé weave going either side of our bracelet, and we're going to finish with our stopper bead. So we're going to do one side first, so I'm just going to take all the strands, and this can be a little of a fiddly job. We're going to put this into our 8mm rubber stopper bead that's sterling silver. So I'm just going to work each strand into that. Okay, so that's the 6 strands to one side of the connector, and we're going to go back, so from the opposite side, so that's the end of the bracelet and that's the stopper bead there, and we're going to take the 6 strands on the other side from the other direction and through our stopper bead. Like I say, this is where it gets a bit more tricky, so I'm going to take one of my strands, and this is, if you're struggling, get your wide-eyed needle and you're going to place the thread inside, double like so, and through your stopper bead. So we're going to the opposite side that we came through with the others. Okay, so you'll see that pulls that through, move that down, take that off. So we've got them crossing over, one coming out one way, and you're going to repeat that with all 6 strands. I'm just pulling all my strands now to make sure we've got them all going in the right direction, and I've got all the strands through in the right way. So there we have all 6 on that side, and we've got our 6 on the other side as well. Okay, and now we're just going to take the bead up, and we want to cut our strands so they're all even. So I'm going to measure, so that's from the middle and that's to those strands. So I'm just going to get them all coming out of the right direction. A few tucked into the others, so I just want to pull them through, so they're sat at the top as well. And underneath, one of the threads going through in the opposite direction. There we go, so they're all out at the top, and the same on the other side. And we'll pull that all nice and neat. There we go. I'm going to get the length then from this side so I can see how long they need to be. So from coming out, I'm going to do them at 7 centimeters in length. So that one's at 7 centimeters, that's my shorter one, and I'm wanting to finish these ends with 3 of the O beads on each of the 2, so you end up with 3 tassels coming out the side. So that's the 7 centimeters. I've put in 3 of the O beads on to the tassel, Take them down the thread a bit, and then I'm going to make my knot on the end of the tassel. And that way you can see where we're going with the design here. So we've got the 7 centimeters and 3 and a knot. I'm going to take my next 2 strands and I'm going to make sure that they're at 7 centimeters before I begin as well. So that's 7 centimeters from the sterling silver bead, and then you want to cut that length. So 7 is there. Trim my excess off. And 3 of the O beads. So we're getting these little fancy ends here, and the same again with the top one, and then do the same 7 centimeters on this side as well. So I'll join you back and we'll finish that off. So we've done our 7 centimeters and added our 3 little beads, and this beautiful stopper bead works in this way. So as we slide the threads along, you can make the bracelet longer or shorter depending on the wearer. To secure the knots that I've done on the ends, I'm going to be using a little bit of Fevikwik glue, and I'm just going to apply a small amount to each of the knots at the end and let that dry. And once that's dry, your bracelet is completely finished. So a small amount to each knot, just so that they don't undo. And let that dry correctly before putting it in any bag or anything. And there is your finished Tree of Life and micro macrame bracelet. Thank you for watching our project today. Give us a big thumbs up and subscribe now to our YouTube channel, where we put lots of fabulous design ideas and tutorials on for you on a regular basis. Until the next time, bye bye!